Hello students, and welcome to the week 3 example 4 video. So in this video we're going to be making this part. This is the homework of last year, which is now becoming example 4 for this year as we build out the example library. So like with example 1 of this week, this is essentially a nonsense part. It is a sketch which is designed to showcase originally to test out or to give you experience in the different sketching tools. So I encourage you to open this for yourselves, because I'm not going to jump to it every time. So open it for yourselves. I'll be having this on a separate screen. So first I will hide the sketch that I originally had made. I'll just hide it over there, and then I'll start a new sketch. So I'll just orient myself. So new sketch, and then on the front plane. Okay, so I will start with the most, let's say, detailed, dense area. That's all those circles and arcs and squares and so on. So, okay, so thinking forward, because last year we did not tell the students where to place their datum system, or at least in the first sketches. For this year's homework, we will be telling you that. But last year, people put it everywhere, and most of them started on the origin, which is usually a good principle. However, looking forward for this one, it's not that good of an idea. So let me quickly just bring that sketch back to show you, because you can see here, in the end, we're going to mirror and then mirror again. So then, if you put your origin over here, then you have to add for yourself reference lines to mirror around, or you don't mirror the one line and use this one as a reference, then it starts becoming a bit self-referential and it's not ideal. So I'm going to rather place my origin here and use that to mirror around, but we'll get to that at the very end. So first I'm going to start with the rectangle. So that is the rectangle and circle, which both have a radius and a half side length of 100 millimeters. So for the rectangle, I'm going to go here, and you see, so I've got this setting selected from center, because, sorry, I almost did exactly what I said I was not going to do. Okay, I want to start over here. So in this case, I can just do by 2 points, because it doesn't matter really a lot, because I don't have a specific center point. So I'm just going to put one in. Then I'm going to set the 2 side lengths the same, because I want a square. Then rapid dimension, and this is going to be 200 millimeters. So immediately it blows it up much bigger. I'll just click here. There we go. There, it's back in frame. So I move this down, and then I will add for myself a circle. So since I want that circle to be inside of this, I don't have a specific center point for it, I can use this 3-point method. So now I select this point over here, this one here, and then just here. And now I have my circle in place, and I don't need to add any unnecessary dimensions. Okay, so next I'm going to add the larger circle. Let me just zoom out a little here. So that circle, it has a radius of 150. And it's also very important to make sure when you're reading the dimensions where it says a radius or a diameter. Otherwise, you're going to be quite a bit off. So now I actually have a center point I want to work around. So I'm going to select this. Then I'm going to select my center point, and it's asking me for a diameter. So I'm going to add 300. There we go. In tests, I would encourage you to, rather than doing the math in your head, obviously 150 times 2 is easy, but in a test, you can make stupid calculation errors. So rather just say 150 times 2 and the like, but yeah, now it's not a high pressure situation, so it's fine. Always double check those things. If you're not typing in exactly what is given to you, double check. Okay, so now we have that circle. Okay, so now you will see around that there's an arc that doesn't go all the way around, and there's also another square which has 2 of its corners cut off and 1 corner rounded. So I'm going to first add that square. So I'm going to say rectangle again, and now I actually have a center point I want to work around, and that has a side length of 400. So I'm going to select this one, click there, say okay. I will add the width later. I'll just click now and then click again. Then I will set those two to be the same, and this is sort of going to get undone later when we cut off the edges, but we'll get there when we get there. Okay, so then we're going to go to Rapid Dimensions. If you click D, that's a shortcut key to Rapid Dimensions. So then I'm going to select this edge and this edge. Select at that point. I want the edge specifically. It keeps wanting to select that, so I'll just use that. That's fine, and that should be 400. There we go. Okay, so now we have that. I'm going to cut off the edges and so on at the very end. So now I first want to add that arc that goes from here to here. So I'm going to go to arc, and I have a center point I want to work around. So you can also use arc by 3 points here. That will also work, but the center one will work the easiest. So I'm going to say I want to start over there in the center, and then sweep it from there all the way through to here. Then I have that arc there. Let me just check. So currently I have 2 auto dimensions, and that is the dimension saying where on earth this thing is. So you can see actually when I move this, it's not very happy when I move it. There we go. Now it's happy with what's going on. Okay. So while I'm now here and I have 2 auto dimensions, I'm going to add that 750 dimension, which essentially will replace this one. So I go to Rapid Dimensions and say from this center point to this vertical axis. Yes, the vertical axis will be 750. Just to remove the auto dimensions as I go along. This one will be removed at the end when I add a bunch of the other dimensions. Okay, so then next, we'll quickly just check. So next I'm going to add the other edges and so on that will connect it to the origin. So then we'll sort this guy out now. So for that I'm going to use the profile tool, and I'm going to start at this edge because I don't want to start off with a arc. So I'm going to click here, go over here, and it's complaining a little, but we'll see why in a moment. Click there, so it goes out a bit, goes up diagonally, and you'll see the note now that this constraint suggestion pops up. In the note in the sketch, it says the diagonal 130 millimeter line is tangent to the 200 millimeter radius circle. So this that it's suggesting at the moment is what we actually want. So we can just click that, we're happy with that, then this goes up, here's vertically, and now we want the arc to go this way, and we want it to connect to that point. You can just click, yes, connect to that midpoint, and then close that. So now we have some conflicting dimensions, so let's quickly see. Here it has an equal length constraint to this one, and these ones, I think our issue is with all the 90-degree angles that we have for our square with this horizontal, it's complaining. Or it can be these 2 horizontals that are complaining. So let's just delete that one and see if it stops complaining. Okay, but now it's added an angle. Let's quickly just zoom out and see what exactly is going on there. 180-degree angle. That's wonderful. So let's say, okay, now that should go horizontal, and now it's happy. So yeah, you can see it was just a bit confused. So I took out one of the constraints that was over constrained, and then it added an auto dimension. I replaced it, and now it's happy. So sometimes things can get a bit finicky. So don't stress too much if everything goes red. Okay, so it's just, let's just zoom in a little bit. There we go. So now I'm going to add those other dimensions. So this has a radius of 80, and we're adding a radial dimension, so that's fine. This should be 150. This is 145. And this is 300. So now we should be fully constrained. Yes, now we're fully constrained. So last year, a lot of students, their mistake was, and so the students who came very close but had a mistake, was they had this incorrect. So let's quickly delete this one. So what they rather did was they had this tangent to either this or this, which is the same because this, since it has the same radius and meets in the middle, is implicitly tangent to this edge. So if you put this tangent, it looks very similar. It looks very similar to your reference image. But let me quickly pull that over here. In the reference image, let me blow that up a bit and just zoom in there. So you will see that these center points are not in line with one another. And you will see, if I accidentally just threw that completely away. There we are. So if I draw a line between these two, you'll see they are currently in line with one another, which is incorrect. So I'm just quickly going to delete that tangent constraint. There we go, that's gone now. And then I'll just add this tangent constraint in again. And there we go. So not finished yet, but as you can see, we were essentially finished. And it's a very simple sketch. There's just this one sort of trick area. Okay, now before we mirror, we must just add these two chamfers and the one fillet. So let's quickly add the fillet first. So it's between these two with a radius of 100. There we go. And then, so now it's complaining a bit about the dimension there, but I'm just quickly going to add my chamfers first, because otherwise I might just be doing unnecessary work over and over again. So that's 50, that's correct, enter, and this one is also 50. There we go. So now it just has 5 auto dimensions, but that's, yes, it's just 5 auto dimensions. Let's quickly just specify that this should be 400. Yes, that is correct. Then this circle, let's quickly see. If you have an auto dimension, it's always a good idea. Oh, my computer is, Manix is frozen for a moment. I think my license server disconnected. Let me quickly just check. No, my license server is on and it just started working again. Okay, and now we're back. So it's always a good idea when you have auto dimensions to see what exactly is not constrained. So this radius, but should it not be? Yeah, it doesn't like it when I pull on that middle. Let's give it a moment. There we go. Okay, so I'm just going to make it happy by giving it the radius that it wants, because if I start putting there, it's complaining. Did I not just add that 200? There we go. Now 3 auto dimensions. Now the question is, where are those auto dimensions? Ah, here we are. Okay, so this point. So now it's no longer connected to that point, no longer tangent. So that's a quick fix. So let's make that explicitly tangent, and this one as well. Let's also make that explicitly tangent. There we go. That's better. And now we just have one auto dimension. We should have no auto. Ah, there we go. So this was disconnected from that center point. So now we can just connect these 2 points to one another, because this is in the center of here to here, because it is tangent. So I'm just going to click C to go to my constraints. So I want coincident, so that they are in the same point. And there we go. Now it's fully constrained and we have all these features. So the important part is to stay calm when stuff looks like it starts to break, and just go through it methodically. And if you do something and NX freezes, rather not do that again. Okay, and now all that's left is to mirror. So now I'm quickly going to go to mirror, and then I'm going to say, okay, all the connected curves, and for some reason it doesn't want to select all of them, because these ones selected weird. Now I have all the curves selected, and I want to mirror around this center line, so the vertical axis. Yes, that one. Apply, zoom out a bit, so that's correct. And then I want to mirror again downward, so connected curves, just select all of them. Let's see, almost, there we go. That's all of them. So then I want to mirror around the horizontal axis. Okay, and that is the whole sketch. So now just to sanity check ourselves, let's say finish, and then go to the front view, and then I can just unselect that and unhide the old one, and it basically makes the lines thicker. So there we go. So that is the sketch finished. Oops, I accidentally hit both of them. There we go. So that's as simple as that, very easy. Just make sure that you read all the instructions on the sketch very carefully, because there's just that one place that can catch you. Okay, thank you very much for watching, and I almost forgot your code word for this video is globe. There we go. Okay, enjoy the rest of the videos, and remember to come to class prepared. Cheers.